another tab. Hey everyone, welcome.
Hey everyone.
Oh wait. We're talking too fast. I have like a countdown. All right, we are live here. Welcome. I've got the little graphic up. Got to show it off one more time. The spin.
Are you going to teach us how you created that, man? Because that thing is legit. I saw that and I was like, that's exactly what we were talking about wanting to do. I didn't even know if it was possible. And then, of course, the great Jimmy Hatzel goes and executes it. Oh, it's awesome, man. So good. I love seeing that stuff.
You know, it's easy to make something look good with the gradient. I gotta give you guys a shout out on that. I love it. The colors.
Oh, thank you, buddy. Yeah, well, and it's just such a great opportunity to engage with you and to engage with this amazing community. And I just want to quickly say thank you. I personally and professionally understand the value of time, the value of energy, in particular for MSPs or any of the vendors that are maybe joining us out there too, or anybody else in any other industry. I think it's an amazing topic today. But first and foremost, I just want to thank you. You can go and engage in endless engagements out there. And for you to engage with us today, I promise you we're going to make it worth your time and energy. But we do value and feel humbly blessed about this opportunity to engage with you. So thank you.
Yeah, I just want to echo everything. I mean, you said it best, so there's not much more to say. We're super pumped to have everyone on, people listening, people tuned in. I am Jimmy Hatzel. And I'm here with Dave Goldie. I'm from QuickPass. I run marketing at QuickPass. Dave, why don't you introduce yourself briefly?
I don't know if you guys just heard, I just flipped over to the LinkedIn thing and then a video of me started talking from like a few seconds ago. So my apologies. Yes, everyone. I'm Dave Goldie and I'm the VP of Channel at Gradient. I've been a part of the channel for almost 7 years now. And I just love the channel. I just think this is such an awesome opportunity for us to talk about something that I know Jimmy's really passionate about and that I'm learning with all of you how to really kick butt on LinkedIn. And so there's no better person where we can discover how to kick butt on LinkedIn than Jimmy Hatzel. So I'm going to learn with everybody today.
Well, thank you, Dave. And just a couple housekeeping things. Jim Turner's already asking questions. Yes, we will be able to send this over to you later. I will have Catherine from QuickPass in the chat. She'll be able to answer questions if anybody has any. I am live in New York. Dave, where are you right now?
I am just outside of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, in a little place called Tawasin, a nice little rural place that I grew up in, actually. So, yeah, broadcasting live from all over the world, I guess, eh, Jimmy?
Yeah, international stream here. Loving it. But so today we're going to be talking all about LinkedIn, how MSPs can win on LinkedIn. That was the title of it, but we're going to be talking about LinkedIn in general, our experiences, lots of different stuff. We're also giving away prizes. So we're giving away 10 $50, and if you're in Canada, we'll make a Canadian dollar, Amazon gift cards. Or whatever's more. If the American, I don't know the conversion.
No, the U.S. is way more, man. The Canadians want the U.S. one.
Yeah, we're giving U.S. dollars then. U.S. dollars, gift cards. 5 will be randomly drawn from people who registered, and 5 will be given to randomly drawn people who are engaged in the chat. So Catherine will be running that. Engage in the chat, comment, whatever, share your feedback. Tell us that we're terrible at streaming and that, you disagree with us, whatever gets you going. It doesn't matter. It's about activity, not compliments to us. So I encourage everyone to participate. To get started, I'm just going to throw up topics and we can, chat about them for a couple minutes. If you're good with that, Dave.
Great with it, man. Yeah, I think we can wax on it. You and I were talking about like just sharing our own experience on LinkedIn. And so before we go much further, I don't know if you guys saw my post from last night, But like one thing that I've learned is you can overpost on LinkedIn. And I think maybe I overposted a little bit on this event because nobody viewed my post last night. So I do just want to quickly share my screen because although I'm not a massive expert in LinkedIn, I'm learning from Jimmy. I'm learning from my experience. I am going to go in and I'm just going to be vulnerable here. And I'm just going to show you kind of my LinkedIn real quick. And I think we can dive deeper into this stuff, but you can kind of see, here's my LinkedIn. There's some activity on there. It's pretty cool. And then I think I made a post from last night. Jimmy, how do I quickly get to my post that I made last night? Like maybe that's a good learning thing.
There's two ways. If you go up at the top, it'll show views of your post right underneath your name. Sorry, on the left side. Yeah, views of your post. That'll bring up your last post.
Okay.
Usually if you click on it.
Okay, let's go in there. Let's see my last post. This one is a bit controversial, and this is true. So I used to work for a corporate travel organization, and we were trying to help people with their business travel for the most part. And so we used to find ways where we could ping regular travelers who were walking through the airports, and then we'd say little silly things to them like, wouldn't you rather be relaxing in the airline lounge instead of the BK lounge? And I myself, definitely before the pandemic was a pretty regular traveler. And if I got a ping like that, I'd for sure be creeped out and be like, what just happened? But then I'd also be like, yeah, the Air Canada lounge, I might be able to hang out in there, have some premium drinks, have some really great food, relax in an area where I can plug in my laptop and maybe do some work or maybe just watch some cool videos of Jimmy on LinkedIn. But this is important to me. This part here, you can geo-target your prospects, but you should know who your target customers are if you're going to go and geo-target or do any sort of sales and marketing motion. So I hope today, everybody on here is going to start with where they should start first. Who's your target customer? Define that very clearly, and then you can use things like LinkedIn to get very specific and very cool with how you target them. But I mean, you can see in here, I didn't do a very good job. I only got 49 views of that one, dude. Anyways, I'll stop sharing and let's get back to the topic du jour.
No, thanks for sharing. I love the sharing your screen action, just pulling it right up. So we're seeing it, what it actually looks like, But I wanted to share a little bit about like my personal experience with LinkedIn, because I think like 3-4 years ago, pre-pandemic world, even a little bit before that, LinkedIn was literally just posting like about jobs, like updating to try to get jobs, resumes, applying to jobs. That's it. There wasn't much content going out. And then in like 2020, really, a lot of people were home. And I think a lot of people started spending a lot more time on LinkedIn. But what happened was people weren't commenting yet on LinkedIn. So they were like spending time on the platform, but they weren't sharing and they weren't commenting. So what was happening is anyone who started commenting or sharing posts or anything, it would get like viewed by every single person in your network. And I sort of saw that happening. And in the beginning of 2021, I decided that I was going to, make a big commitment to LinkedIn and try to post every day or close to every day. And build a following on it, get, a certain number of 1,000 followers. And I just started doing it and it started working. More people started reaching out to me, like just getting a lot more traction on the platform, a lot of consistent people commenting on my posts, lots of views on my posts. So I think like one thing for like maybe an MSP listener who's watching right now, like we can get away from the idea that LinkedIn is this thing that we just use to like recruit people for jobs or post about our promotion or something like that. It is now like constant content. And if you post something, like we're still super early on it. So yeah, now it's not like it was in 2020 where like you post one picture and it's up in everyone's feed for a week. But still most of the people on LinkedIn are viewing and consuming, not necessarily posting. So if you are posting on something on LinkedIn, you're way, way, way ahead. So that's been my personal experience the past couple of years, and I've really enjoyed it so far.
Yeah, and I can actually show my personal experience. And I'm happy to do that if you guys think there's value in that. Where I can just share my screen right now and I can very, vulnerably go in here and just say, okay, so here's my posts, right? So let's go back here. It might even line up like perfectly with Jimmy's timeline. I'll spend a bit more time on some of these posts, but I'm just going to go back. You can see some funny stuff in there for sure. Obviously, we're getting a lot more social at Gradient than I'm even comfortable with. One of the things that I should say with social media, in particular LinkedIn, is let's remember that this is a professional platform. It's meant for business. But we'll talk about some of these topics, but you should get personal. You should be professional with how you get personal on LinkedIn because it is a professional social media site, despite some of the kid pictures and stuff like that you see posted out there. But you need to get personal, and we're going to dive deeper into this, Jimmy, I know, but it's like the post, like first off, be fearless. That's the decision that I made about LinkedIn. I said, here's the deal. I'm just going to get fearless. I'm not comfortable with LinkedIn at all. I don't even know how it works. And so as we go back here and we're starting to see, 4 years ago, I started to repost things that the organizations that I was working for were posting on their corporate LinkedIn, on my personal LinkedIn. And I started there and I said, okay, there's content that I don't even have to create that's already created and I can post. And then you can see I started posting more and more and more and more and more. And then I did do this hand washing challenge. I think it was like ConnectWise or somebody that did that. This one was hard for me because I sang, and people don't know this about me, but I have stage fright. I know that I speak for a living, but I'm not comfortable speaking. So I get like just riddled with anxiety and fear. Even before this live LinkedIn, I was like walking around in circles because I'm just like riddled with anxiety and fear. To be fearless is not to not experience fear. It's not like the 90s No Fear Company got it right. It's about not letting fear stand in the way of doing what's right, and getting social on LinkedIn is what's right for your business. And you can start to see that my views really increased. So I just find it really interesting, the ones that get views and the ones that don't get views. I'm really finding, as I'm probably sure you are, Jimmy, that the ones that are like just professional are not the ones that are getting the most views. Like, look at this one where I'm like, I've got a picture of me running. I'm all sweaty in the morning time. That was me being very vulnerable. I was scared to post that picture, but I just said, I'm not going to let fear stand in the way of me posting, and I'm going to have something personal and professional. Obviously, I'm not going to do the headstand today. Jimmy wanted me to do the headstand on a mantle or something for you guys today, but I'm not doing that. But get fearless. Don't let fear stand in the way of you posting. What should you be posting? Things that people care about, things that are authentic, things that are real, things that are in your daily life and that are a part of your business. But don't be afraid to get silly along the way and have some fun with it, because why are we doing any of this stuff, if we're not having some fun with it? And it will increase revenue. It will increase your brand recognition. You can get very targeted to your customers. You can gain more new customers. You can expand revenue with existing customers, and you can get your brand everywhere out there with an amazing tool like LinkedIn. So anyways, I'm going to pass it back to you, Jimmy, but I just wanted to get a little fearless there, a little vulnerable.
No, I love it. That was very good. Very good tips. And it's interesting watching you walk through that same timeline that I was talking about. I think it's a good transition to another topic: corporate account versus personal account on LinkedIn. So I remember when I first started posting a lot on LinkedIn, I was also running Scout Cybersecurity's company LinkedIn at the same time. And I was getting a ton of traction, and the company account wasn't getting as much traction. And I remember having a conversation with the CEO at the time, Aiden Kehoe, and he's saying, why, like, what's going on? Why are you spending so much time on the personal account and not the company account? Not like saying it was bad or anything. He just wanted to understand. And it was like, it's pretty simple. People buy from people, they buy from people. So your personal account is always going to get more traction and followers than your company account. If you look at the Lakers versus LeBron, like who has more followers and who gets more engagement on their social networks, like, LeBron's always going to get more engagement, more followers than Lakers.
We have a competition internally, right? So I literally say to our marketing team, okay, let's have a competition. You put a post up, I'll repost it, and who's going to get the most views? I actually thought that the corporate was going to get more views because Gradient, has invested a lot in getting a lot of followers. I have too. I mean, back in the day, it was just random. I don't know if you experienced this, but like 10 years ago, I was just like, I'm going to get to 1,000 followers on LinkedIn. I don't know why I picked that number. But most of the time when I was like sitting on the John, I was just like randomly like follow. I want everybody to follow me. You don't want everybody to follow you. You want the majority of, your customers, your partners, to be the ones that are following you. But yeah, I mean, it's spiraled out of control now. I think I'm nowhere near you, buddy, but I'm going to hit the 10,000 mark, probably in the next month or so here. And I think I'll feel pretty good about that accomplishment. But anyways, I beat Gradient all the time. My views are better than yours. Ha! Anyways, personal.
It's personal account. Yeah, you got to go.
Personal. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to get personal on your personal account.
You do. You got to get personal on the corporate account too, right? Like, let's be real. Yeah. Do you want Gradient coming out there posting every single day about like, billing reconciliation sucks and it's a time waste? And I'm not saying those things aren't important, okay? I don't want to devalue what we're doing, but you don't want to see a post about that every single day. I know that I don't. Now, for me, it's also like I'm not on Facebook. I haven't been compelled to go on Facebook. I think there's too much personal that's creeping into LinkedIn, to be honest, because it really is a professional network. So I think when you are getting personal on both the corporate account as well as the personal account, I still feel like there should be a professional element to it, but I don't think it has to be directly, this is the problem we're trying to solve, or this is the value proposition. I don't think that's what people really want to read. I do find it interesting, though, that people want to see Dave Goldie running in the morning. I know you love to run too. I see lots of your posts on running, dude. I think you got me beat. You did a marathon recently, right?
I've done a couple of things like that. Yeah.
Nice, buddy. Nice.
I think too, something about personal accounts and corporate accounts, like it's funny. I've noticed if you're posting about, like, say, a new release, or say you're an MSP and you add something like a new cybersecurity product to your product stack or something that you want to tell your customers, just posting about it, like, hey, we have this going on, it'll get like no traction at all. But if you talk about your experience with it or your employees' experience with it, it's totally different. So you'd be like, versus like new cybersecurity, blah, 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 blah. I'm so excited to announce that today, after 3 months, I've been working with Dave and Colin and all these people, and we put together the cybersecurity product. I wanted to give a shout out to so-and-so for doing such a great job, and blah, 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 blah. Like, that will do well because people, they don't really care about the cybersecurity product or whatever, new thing you're selling or pushing for that month, but they care about learning your experience with it because that's something that they can relate to.
Well, let's bring it back to the channel, right? Like, one of the reasons that I love the channel so much is almost to a fault. The channel is based upon relationships, right? Like, MSPs will knowingly buy and sell a product to their customers that they know is not the best product or service to their customers, and it may cost more, but they'll do it because of a personal relationship, because they met somebody at a show and there was a personal relationship there. And we're talking about, if the channel is going to be successful, we have to partner together. And partnership is not transactional. It's not, I pay you for your product and I resell it to my customer and I get, a margin on it. And then we talk about how happy we are that we're both making money. No, in a partnership, you have to discover what the value of the partnership could be. Often between a vendor and an MSP, the value in the partnership is we both want to grow. We both want to grow revenue. We want to increase our customers. We on the vendor side want to increase our partners. And so it's about growth. So then the goal of the partnership is to grow together, right? And so that's amazing. That's trust. That's relationship. That's a real partnership, right? So the thing that gets me so excited, because it's not about me on LinkedIn. I'm trying to provide opportunities for important conversations, for learning, for growing, for all of us to make more money at the end of the day. And I just love that about the channel. And there's that opportunity within a social media platform to have, like, if I have a partner say, hey, Goldie, that was a great post. Or if I have a partner say to another partner on a social media platform, oh, you had a question about Gradient. I have the answer because here's my experience with Gradient. Like, that's what it's about to me. I just want to create opportunities for engagements and conversations that are meaningful, that lead to us all growing and making more money at the end of the day, because I got a house to buy. But yeah, I mean, kick it back to you on building relationships online, man. That's really what it's all about.
Yeah, it's like the big buzzwords in marketing right now are about like community management and community, blah, 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 blah. Everything's about community, which is kind of funny because the channel's been doing this for years, like been way ahead of people on this, I think. And like I've made lots of real relationships online that have like turned into relationships in person. And then there's plenty of people that I've met on LinkedIn that I mostly just communicate with on LinkedIn, but we have like, we know what's going on in each other's lives because we're posting, commenting, messaging. And like, we talk about the new normal and that word's played out, so I won't say it again, but it really did change things. Like, people are more comfortable meeting online for the first time. They're more comfortable engaging online. You have this new generation of people entering the workforce. They're online first. Pretty soon we're going to have all these kids that went to online school for 4 years or 5 years or 10 years, however long this thing lasts.
I had a baby. Well, I didn't have a baby. My wife had a baby. I mean, beautiful Olivia, she's 19 months now. She hasn't met most of our family, right? Like my sister, she's trapped in Seattle and can't get out. She's never met her niece, right? Like the post or during pandemic world. Yeah, a lot of it sucks, but not all of it sucks. Some of it's created some amazing opportunities for us to engage. I forget who it was, but you like did a couple posts where you were like, hey, I met this person online, and then that's built into a relationship. And then I got to see that person. I think you were at an event last year at the beginning of the year or something like that.
Yeah.
You actually got to meet the person that you had this great relationship with online. Yeah, I loved that, man. But yeah,
yeah. No. It's just somebody said it in the comments. It's normalized now, building relationships online in a way that it wasn't a few years ago. And like maybe we could talk about a little bit of this too, like the opposite of what you're supposed to do. Right? So many people they'll add you on LinkedIn, then they'll send you like a message right away. Like for me, I don't know. You guys watching or the people watching probably get a lot of like channel vendors like, oh, hey, buy my software, buy my backup, buy my whatever. But I, as a marketing person, I get like, buy my leads, buy my SEO, buy my blah, blah, blah. Like,
I was going to show my messages, but I don't think I can or should do that. But all those messages that you get that you obviously ignore because you don't have time for them, right? Because they're just like so creepy, or they're just like completely irrelevant. They're basically time waste, right? So like I had one recently, and this guy was like, if you want to be a better junior sales rep, then you should come to my event. And to be a better junior sales rep, here is my program and how I'm going to teach you to become a senior sales rep. And so back in the day, I would never respond to these, but for whatever reason now, I've started responding to them. And I responded to this dude like, know your audience, man. Spray and pray is dead. If you don't know who your target customer is, like, how are you ever going to be successful? I am now personally offended that you've sent me this message, and I feel like I should speak at your event. You should hire me because clearly you're not very good at sales and you're trying to teach other people to sell. Like, there's a pet peeve. Spray and pray. I did a little bit of that for this event. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out how to invite people to events. So you kind of taught me, Jimmy, but then it's my first time actually inviting people en masse to an event. So I think I probably did a bit of spray and pray last night with a couple scotchies, but I'm sorry if I spray and prayed you. If you're here because of that, thank you. Hopefully you're learning something valuable, but yeah, that's a pet peeve of mine. Don't send me a message that's irrelevant to me. Know who I am. Send me something that's personal. A way better message would be like, Goldie, I saw your post about running. I like to run too. I did a marathon last year. If you want me to buy your product or service, that is how, you get rapport with me and how you kick my door down and get me to pay attention.
It's so funny. So the other day I commented on a post. The guy's name is Sam Nelson. He's inside sales at Outreach, and he has like great person to follow on LinkedIn if you're a seller. But anyway, so his post was like, anyone looking for SDRs or sales development representatives, comment on this post. So I commented and said, we're hiring out of Vancouver. I got a cold email the next day from someone saying, hey, I saw on LinkedIn that you commented on so-and-so's post that you're hiring out of blah, blah, blah. I was like, wow, that's pretty good. I got to give this person credit.
Yeah. A souped up message was somebody once connected with me on LinkedIn. And then I know it's a generic video and they just inserted my name, but I still thought it was pretty effective. She sent me a message that said, hey, I created this video for you. And then I'm like, I know that this is a total scam, but I don't know. I'm intrigued. And I went in there. And at least on the front end, she had recorded like, hey, Dave Goldie, I know that you went to BCIT and you did the human resource management program. I can see you're into hockey. Wow, you're having a great career as a channel leader. Let's just have a chat about business and maybe we can figure out a way where we can partner and make more money together. That was compelling. I paid attention to that. Yeah.
One thing I do want to segue into, more specifically, I don't know. We had one person storm out of the chat. We've getting lots of like positive comments. People like, I love this. One person was like,
are upset. Oh no!
Somebody was like, this is terrible.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize. Sometimes I talk too much.
No. Hey, if you don't, you can't keep everyone happy. That's another thing on LinkedIn. Like, you gotta just post. Like, you can't carry. You just got to put stuff out there.
Not anything though. Like, you probably want to avoid certain topics. Like, I think it's cool to to get a little sassy and maybe to even get a bit controversial. Like, I was worried about my post last night that if people were like, oh, geo-targeting, geo-mapping, geo-tracking, I thought maybe I shouldn't talk about that stuff. But I mean, we were doing that stuff a decade ago and we need to advance beyond that. So I got a little controversial for sure. But anyways, if this isn't worth your time, then go do something that is worth your time. And if it is worth your time, then thank you for spending your time with us. Can we respond to any of these comments that are happening there? Or somebody's responding?
It's just one. Well, yeah, we're good. Don't worry about it.
Well, I'm just seeing lots of good stuff in there. There's lots of good stuff, and we might want to talk about some of it. But anyways, why LinkedIn for MSPs, Jimmy?
Yeah,
that's the topic.
That's the topic. I'll get started on it. So I talk to all these MSPs all the time. It's my job to talk to MSPs, and they'll talk about their marketing strategy or where they're getting clients from. And over and over and over again, I will hear, I get most of my business from referrals, or the majority of my business has come from referrals. Almost always the number one channel. And then I'll say, oh, so what are you doing? Or what are you trying to do? And I'll see posts on Reddit and blah, 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 blah. And people say, well, the new marketing things that we're trying to do is, Google ads and pay-per-click and all this stuff. And that's good. That's a good marketing channel. But when you're looking at, spending time, where your dollars are going, if you have 90% of your business is coming from referrals and that is your most successful channel, but you're spending 100% of your new marketing dollars trying to do like lead gen on Google search, maybe you'd be better off spending a lot more time amplifying the referral strategy. And I think LinkedIn is the best way that MSPs can do that online. I truly believe that. And here's why. When you comment, excuse me, when you comment online anywhere on LinkedIn, your whole network is basically going to see that. So when you are trying to get referrals on LinkedIn, they're going to see, so-and-so works at, owner, head of sales, whatever at XYZ MSP. And they're going to see that on their feed over and over and over again. So literally, you don't have to be posting all the time. You don't have to be creating new content all the time. Just commenting on your customers' posts or your prospective customers' posts or other people in your professional network is a great way to get the word out there and remind them who you are and try to increase your referrals. So that's one of the main,
100%, right? And it goes back to like this business is based upon relationships. Like before we had, managed service agreements, MSAs, this was a handshake business. This is, I'm going to take care of your IT service because we've got a relationship. You're going to pay me, if it was break fix back then and then transitioning to full, MRR true managed service offering. A lot of it was based upon this relationship, and we're going to deliver this service. And if you're feeling like the service isn't worth it, then stop paying for it. Because back in the day, they didn't have another MSP. They were doing their own IT, or they were just not getting IT service, right? Now it's a lot more competitive, right? I mean, you're trying to displace another managed service provider in a lot of cases. But where you're communicating to the market should be in LinkedIn. And it should start with like thought leadership. Like my thought leadership right now is about making the world a better place. I honestly believe that the channel, specifically MSPs, serving small businesses, make the world a better place. They hold up the global economy. They create community. They foster and grow community. That to me makes the world a better place. You're mostly small businesses as an MSP, and you're mostly serving small businesses as an MSP. But your thought leadership could be, well, I'm making the world a better place. We're doing that based upon a security need in the market. We're going to educate the market on the security need, and let's start having conversations. That can be most of your corporate stuff. And then your personal posting needs to be like some stories. Maybe you don't name the customer, but you're like, this customer had X problem and we solved it. If you could get your customer to get online and do a video like this with you and say, wow, these guys, we had X problem and they solved it with a Y solution. That's it, right? And then I hear this other problem. Like last week I was in Phoenix and MSPs were telling me, I haven't had a salary out of my business in 4 years. Okay, so there's a problem there, right? You need to be getting paid what you're worth, and your services are worth a lot more than you not taking a salary for 4 years. So Jimmy and I are going to help you with that because you should be getting paid what you deserve. But this referral opportunity then means you're going to have new customers. And I hear from MSPs, I can't hire the techs. Like getting the customers isn't a problem. I can get referrals. I can just go ask other customers to get more customers. You should be doing it on LinkedIn, as Jimmy told you. But we, in the end of last year in November, we were 13 people as an organization. I can't even tell you how many people we are now because there's offers going out all over the place. We might be 50 now. I know we're probably at about the 40 mark. So in a few months, we've hired like 3 times the staff that we were. How did we do it? LinkedIn. And it wasn't posting a job post and saying, apply. That's not how we did it. Because if you want the best of the best are working. They're not applying for jobs ever. They don't ever have to apply for a job. They get referred into a job, just like you get customers referred. So where you're going to find the best techs, the best staff to be able to grow your business is also on LinkedIn. But it's not doing job postings. You have to do it because people have to see the job posting and be able to look at a job description. But you have to go say to somebody like me, hey man, I see that you like hockey and you like singing with your son, and that's pretty cool. I saw that on LinkedIn. Just wanted to reconnect and see what you're up to, or just wanted to get to know you and talk about life and business. You don't go, I have a job opportunity and it's here's the job description and it's $50,000 a year. No, you have a conversation. You figure out what that person wants. Is there alignment in what they want and what you're providing? Then talk about the money, get the deal done. You got another tech, you can get another customer, right? But LinkedIn is the place to do it. Get more customers on LinkedIn. Get more staff and more people. Our most important resource on LinkedIn. But yeah, that's why you're getting on LinkedIn, is because MSPs, I don't know about you, Jimmy, I'm seeing a lot of MSPs that are liking, that are commenting. I'm loving that stuff. I'm not seeing many MSPs, even the big dogs with, so much money that they can invest in marketing. I'm not seeing them blowing up on LinkedIn, posting up all over the place. You guys made it too easy for Gradient. We just start posting. And then look, we're all over the place. Now we're starting to annoy people. So I'll slow down the posting. But anyways, get on LinkedIn. This is going to change your business. It's going to change the whole channel. It's going to make the world a better place.
That's spot on. Spot on. I mean, they're calling now the Great Resignation, right? There's a massive worker shortage. It's hard to hire people. Everyone's growing, or not everyone, but a lot of businesses are growing, especially in the MSP space. People are trying to hire techs. And if you don't, like, when you think about your brand, right, you need to think about what your brand looks like to someone that you're trying to hire. And strong brands will always have a good hiring pipeline. So getting yourselves out there, talking about what it's like working at your company, what your company's up for, promotions, what people like to do, what they're really like. That's the kind of things that people are looking for that'll make them want to join your team and help you improve that recruiting pipeline. Now, Dave, I do have to just pause for 1 second because so Kevin Clune and I, who's in the chat, have been on live streams before, and him and I are both Sixers fans. So we've been on live streams probably last year at this time around the trade deadline. We have breaking news. He commented on earlier. I saw it. There's been rumors over and over again. I looked down at my phone. My phone is like ping, 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 ping with text
What
messages.
What is it? There was a trade.
Yeah,
there's got to be a trade.
Was traded to the Sixers. So that's big news for me. We're going to the champ. We're making a championship.
You got the beard. You got the beard.
Yeah.
You got the beard. You don't have the Harden beard. I don't have the Harden beard either. But wow, man, that is huge for the Sixers, buddy.
So, just had to pause for that.
Stacked enough. I'm obviously a Raptors fan because Canadian. And what else did we have? We had the Grizzlies, but you had to steal those away from us. But yeah, wow, you got to be a Sixers fan. You got it. That team is built for championships. They haven't been able to get across that line, though.
We have not. We have not. Not like the Raptors. We had that infamous Kawhi shot where it just bounced like 7 times and knocked.
I was right there bouncing with you, baby. And then all of Canada, when that thing dropped, woo, we did it. We didn't think we were going to win the round after that, though, but we pulled one out there too. All right, let's get back to the topic. Here. So, is there any questions? I'm not seeing anybody dropping any questions, but maybe I'm just not seeing in the right place.
Yeah, let's get some questions in the chat. I haven't seen many. I've seen lots of comments and lots of really good banter, so I'm enjoying that very much. But let's get the questions going.
Talking about basketball here, we're not talking about LinkedIn. But you gave a great basketball example, right? Like, I think LeBron's probably getting some more views than the Lakers corporate site. That's for sure. Good stuff. Okay, what's our next topic here? If nobody has questions,
let's go. All right, so let's talk about LinkedIn ads for a second because it's a thing that comes up a lot. I personally don't spend a lot of money on LinkedIn ads. I think they are a good thing to do. Because you can get hyper specific with targeting. They are more expensive than other platforms. One thing that I personally think for LinkedIn ads, you have the option to do the messages where it'll like spam message everyone. We talked earlier, nobody likes spam messages. So you probably don't want to do that.
Don't take that avenue, please. Spray and pray is dead. Also, like, your money is worth more than that. Like, I'm not saying it's not worth spending on LinkedIn because it is, But your LinkedIn ad needs to be very targeted. It needs to be very specific. It needs to, at first, you have to say, who's my target customer? I love talking to MSPs and I say, are you vertical specific? No, I'm not vertical specific, but I only work with medical. So you are. So you are vertical specific. But are all of your customers ones that you love? Are all of your customers profitable? Are all of your customers, again, customers that would be the ideal customer? Go dig into your existing customer base. I don't care if it's one customer or 100 customers. Very quickly, you should be able to see which ones are the most profitable and then which ones are the ones that are ideal and profitable, and then invest in targeting those. It's pretty simple. You can go and clearly define who your target customer is right now, and then your LinkedIn ads will be worth it because it'll be very specific to, hopefully you'll say, I have this customer that's in your industry and we've been able to help them specifically with this. And then hopefully you have a cool story because you guys are actually making the world a better place. You have stories like, during the pandemic, I saved this business from going out of business. You know, I served these essential workers that saved people's lives. You have a very compelling story out there right now. And that's what your LinkedIn ad should be saying to people. I'm making the world a better place. I worked with this medical institution. I helped save their IT services and make it all work all the time. But they're helping save people's lives. They wouldn't be able to do that without an IT infrastructure that's supporting their ability to go and save people. I talk to MSPs, they're working with nonprofits, with charities, with, you know, all these organizations that make the world a better place. The one thing I'm not seeing is LinkedIn ads from MSPs saying, I'm a part of that. I'm a part of that. You should have pride in that. We're proud of you. You guys are doing amazing. That should be your LinkedIn ad. I'm making the world a better place. All right, there's lots of questions in here, dude. So you got to get to some of those questions.
Yeah, let's
answer them now.
Okay, let's see what we got. Let me scroll back up. I like that I have to scroll back up. What about content suggestions for personal pages? So content. So you can do a couple things. One, I would say make content in batches. So just sit down, maybe on Mondays or whatever day of the week, and try to think of a couple posts. You can use the free version of Buffer if you want to schedule them out. But I would say just pick a couple things, topics that you know about. So say you're an MSP, what it's like. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be specific. Like, you don't have to just give IT tips. You can talk about funny things on the job. You can talk about being a manager. You can talk about being on a team, what it's like with coworkers. You can talk about being a member of your community, you know, especially in a referral-based business like managed services, you know, things in your community. And like, just, you know, that is your prompts. And I think too, for content, figure out what you're best at. So some people are comfortable being on video. Record videos. That's great. Some people are great at taking photos. Take photos. That's great. Some people are great at writing. Write blogs. Write long posts on LinkedIn. That's great too. So I think it's like, it's figuring out what you like and just picking a couple topics and then just putting the time in to post it out. I schedule posts once in a while, but for the most part, I'm just putting it in, trying to get one done each day. But that would be my suggestions for content.
I would add to that, like, you definitely want to have that library of content. So there should be like your regular library of content that really speaks probably more directly to your value of your business and of your IT service offering. You should then have content that has nothing to do with your value, but ways that you can teach people things or tell them stories that are compelling, things that are going to make their life and their business better. And then what I really believe, you've got to have some in the moment stuff. Like what you see with me.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a lot of like, you know, I'll repost content that's from the corporate site, or I'll repost Jimmy's content because his stuff rocks and is cool with like animated logos and stuff like that. Or us spinning around doing teddy bear stands, headstands and stuff like that's cool. But I'm in the moment and I'll be like, this is a beautiful moment for me. You know, I just went for a run. I'm exhausted. This is probably not the right moment to go and share something, but I'm having a very authentic, personal moment that I think is important to share with the world because it's important to me. I used to think nobody's going to think any of that stuff's important. But then I have all these people that now I'm talking about running with, and hey, we could go and do this race and that run and have fun together on a hike, and how health is important, and how physical and mental and emotional and spiritual health is important, and how all of those things can happen through running. And that sparks a great conversation. And then at some point it's like, okay, yeah, we can talk about business. We don't really want to talk about business, but we should, right? Because there's probably an opportunity for us to make some more money together. So be in the moment and don't be afraid to be fearless. Don't let fear stand in the way of you sharing yourself with the world. You are worth sharing yourself to the world, and people are going to be more interested than you think they are.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I posted today a picture of my my shelf that fell down. Like how really, because it's just relatable. Like it's just like we've all had a moment like that where it's just like
I'm not showing.
Is just stumbling.
I'm not showing my full office, but I moved, over the course of the last couple of weeks, and I was also in Phoenix during those couple of weeks for 4 days. So I'm not going to share it because it's disgusting, but I am surrounded with boxes right now. And I feel like I should probably do a post about moving. Moving is literally the worst thing in life, except for losing a loved one. Like, who loves moving? I sure don't. It's absolutely brutal. But yeah, more questions. We got more questions here, Jimmy. Don't let me go off track.
Yeah. We had a question about LinkedIn Live versus webinars. This is I've been doing LinkedIn Live for a while. Every week you have to like apply for it, and there's a little process that goes. It's a little easier now to get than it was a couple months ago. I like it because so there's a couple trade-offs, right? Like if you have a good email list, it's probably easier to generate people to get to a webinar. And usually you'll have different audiences on LinkedIn and different on your email list. So, it's good to work both now that you can do the events and invite people and stuff. But I think, it's good to try things. It's good to try things. And, if you want to talk offline about, you're interested in doing LinkedIn Live.
I actually just talked to LinkedIn yesterday. That was an interesting experience. I had one of my staff members reach out. I said, get me a meeting with somebody at LinkedIn. We're going to spend a whole bunch more money there. And they were like, well, be more specific. And I was like, we're going to need sales nav, and we're going to need a bunch of users, and we're going to spend some marketing dollars. We're going to do a whole bunch of stuff on LinkedIn. The response from LinkedIn was, why don't you attend this webinar? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm talking about spending hundreds of thousands of Papa G's money here. And what? I got to go attend a webinar with a whole bunch of people? No, I want to talk to somebody one-to-one. Then I did talk to somebody one-to-one. He was awesome and so helpful. But then one question I had for him was, how do I do this LinkedIn Live stuff? He actually is going to get me the answer, but I think you're going to give us the answer quicker.
Yeah, I mean, you just apply, and then if you don't get it right away, apply again and apply again and apply again and apply again. They'll eventually accept you. Funny story too. LinkedIn, right out my window, the sunlight just changed, but their office is in the Empire State Building in New York, so I can actually see where they're working right across there. So
you've got an unfair advantage. Whenever you need some LinkedIn, you just walk across the street and say, "Give me a few more in-mail credits or something."
Yeah, well, so
give it to Jimmy.
I bring that up because my friend Charlie, he was one of the first people, I think like first 10 people with LinkedIn Live. He actually got it because 4 years ago now, he walked into LinkedIn offices and he said, I have a show. And they're like, oh, we're looking for testers for LinkedIn Live. And that's how he got access to it. And so you never know. You never know.
That's awesome.
I guess you just walk into their office.
Point on here. So many people try to connect with me we're both doctors and I want to buy my doctor software. Meanwhile, nowhere on my LinkedIn does it say I'm in the medical field. Well, thank you for being vulnerable with us, Justin, and thanks for engaging with us today as a whole. But yeah, that's so true, right? Like you have more relevant content right now than you're aware of. All you just need to do is just look at your customers and go, who are my customers? What's important to them? And then think to yourself, are they the customers that I really want? Because you don't want every single customer, let's be real. But I think doctors are probably pretty good customers and profitable, right? And yeah, if you are in the medical vertical, then we can have a huge amount of content that's extremely relevant. Like I would challenge you, go to one of your doctor customers and say, hey man, can we film a quick video on my iPhone? Let's just talk about what we do. Let's talk about what we do, man. Let's talk about what we do in life, what we do in business, maybe what my IT service does for you, how we do it, why we do it, how it impacts you. Go and put that online, man. You're going to get a few more doctor's offices that are interested in your IT service for sure. But then make sure you're charging them the right amount of money. And it sure isn't 125 per user per month. It should be like 250 or like 500. You guys are worth a lot more than what you're charging right now. We can talk about that on another LinkedIn Live.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic, but we could do that. We could get that scheduled. I'm scrolling back up to the questions. Can you explain? Standard and premium accounts, and which one's better? You want to take that one?
They're all great. If you're just getting started, do the standard. It's free. The premium, you get an opportunity to access another layer of connections. So that's pretty important. You can still on the standard get an opportunity to connect with whoever you want. But if you want to have messaging back and forth and you want to have them in your searching and stuff like that, there's a huge advantage to having premium. It also doesn't cost that much money. Don't be afraid to negotiate hard with LinkedIn. They have a lot of room for you to negotiate. So even if you're a one-person MSP, know that you have more value and more buying power than they are sending you to some random webinar to go sign up. And then, yeah, the sales nav, jumping into that, I don't know, Jimmy, like at what point in the business do you jump into that? I think that you probably need, a certain level of maturity and a certain level of need to access a whole bunch more prospects. So if you're just looking to add a few more customers this year and expand some customers and stuff like that, then it's probably not worth jumping into the sales nav. The sales nav is a whole other ball game. But is the premium worth it? Heck yeah, it's worth it. You also get in-mail credits, so you can send direct messages to people. Don't waste those with like, are you a junior sales rep and you would like to have some junior sales rep training when I've been in sales for like 30 years? No, don't go and do that. But whatever credits you get every month, make them very targeted. Go and discover something about the person that you're sending the message to and talk about something that you've discovered.
Yeah.
And absolutely. Yes, I'm starting Papa G's Pizza. I think it has to be in Jersey if it's going to be successful.
There's definitely many. I've been to Papa G's Pizza in Jersey. I think
I think it's trademarked. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm not even allowed to say Papa G. Who is Papa G? My son's now saying, "Who's Papa G?" I'm like, "It's me, Papa Goldie." And he's like, "But Papa's grandpa." He's 4.5. He'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, Papa G's Pizza. They've got the 2-for-1 deal on Mondays.
I want me some pepperoni. I'm hungry now, Jimmy. Give me the pizza.
Dave, we're wrapping up here. And I know this has just been about LinkedIn, but it would be good for us to introduce ourselves or we introduce ourselves, but what companies represent. Can you just tell everyone what Gradient does and what company you work for before I get into the prizes? Catherine's tallying them up for me.
Yeah. So first off, go to meetgradient.com/LinkedIn-live. We got a landing page where you can go and learn more about Gradient. This isn't about us today. We wanted to bring some thought leadership content that can help you for free grow your business and make more money. That's the mission that we're on, is to help you, because we believe that MSPs need more time with your family, that you're worth more money, and we can help you discover and strategically increase what you're charging. At the very least, you should be getting paid for everything that you're doing right now. And that's our billable product. It's free. It's about billing reconciliation. Don't confuse it with invoicing and other things like that. Right now, billing reconciliation, it takes too much time. That's time away from your family, time away from your business. It's also a cost. your greatest cost, the labor cost, and your cost of goods sold. So it's negatively impacting your profitability. And then we're finding that MSPs are discovering lots of revenue. Our initial research was like 3 to 10% of an MSP's MRR through manual billing reconciliation is being left on the table. We're talking to some businesses where it's like more than 20% of their revenue. You want to look for a way to increase your revenue right now? Get paid for what you're supposed to be paid right now. But anyways, it's a free product. People don't understand why we're doing this for free. You're not the product. You know, that's the logical next step. If you're giving me a free product, then I'm the product. No, we are going to make sure that MSPs are getting paid what they're worth. It's a $250 billion TAM industry, and it's been built on the blood, sweat, and tears of MSPs. On the vendor side, vendors are buying yachts and building castles. And on the MSP side, there's MSPs that haven't taken a salary in 4 years. There's an imbalance there. We're not going to steal from the rich and give to the poor because we love the vendors too. So we're looking for ways to get the vendors to work better together. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We might have something coming out on Monday. So we want MSPs and vendors working better together, vendors and vendors working better together. We want the whole channel to get paid what it's worth. We're more than a $250 billion TAM industry. We're a $1 trillion industry, and we're going to all come together and right set the channel. So that's a little bit about Gradient and Billable, and it's free, and go try it out for free. Don't trust me. Trust yourself. And go to that link, and you can sign up, and you can try Billable out for free, and then we'll have lots of other content about who we are out there. But yeah, again, this was about LinkedIn and thought leadership and how we can win on here. What about you, Jimmy? What are you up to
very
these
well
days?
said. So we are QuickPass software. What we do is we build privileged access management and identity and access management, PAM and IAM software for MSPs. We have two great products. One can help you a lot with your privileged account password cyber hygiene, so we can rotate your passwords of things like Active Directory, your Office 365, rotate them every single day, update your passwords in ID Glue and in your documentation software. And then on the identity side, the less privileged accounts, we can cut down, get rid of password reset tickets for your MSP, automate all of it. And we can verify users who call into your help desk. We have a lot going on. It's really useful software. I think that any MSP can benefit from it. If you join today's live, Catherine will send the link if you want to sign up for a meeting with us. We are able to waive your onboarding fees. So we will have that for anyone today. She will throw that link in the chat.
Is this awkward then, dude? Because I think our founders, they first founded an MSP and then it got acquired. And then our founders founded a password management solution. It got acquired. I know that we're now Gradient, but is there awkwardness in our relationship now? Or are we cool, dude?
Absolutely not. You know, we're all here just trying to help MSPs with their password cyber hygiene. So there's nothing, you know, we're all on the same mission. There's nothing bad. No bad
Check
blood,
out
no awkwardness.
QuickPass. As Jimmy and I have talked about, this is a relationship business, right? You want to do business with people that you love. Love Day is on Monday, by the way. We're going to bring some love to the channel. But we love Jimmy and we love QuickPass. So go check them out. It's worth your time.
Thank you, Dave. And I will now read the winners. Thank you for sticking with us for an entire hour. Those who did. So from the chat, the 5 winners of $50 Amazon gift cards from the chat, we have Dave Cole, Sherry Arthur, Jim Turner, Caitlin Allen, and Mr. David Petty. Congratulations. We also had a raffle for those who registered. The other 5 $50 Amazon gift cards. That is John Haas, Daniel Park. Oh, shout out over there. Patrick Marriott, Clinton CJ Williams, and Alexis D. Amico from South Jersey, who I know as well. So congratulations to all those winners.
Amazing.
Catherine will be in touch to get everyone their prizes. And thank you all for joining in. I'm going to close things out. Dave, do you have any closing words? You've been
Just
quoted
thank
many
you.
times in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
engaging with us. I hope it was worth your time. Look for other opportunities to engage with us, and we're going to make it worth your while. The first and foremost thing that I want to do is make the world a better place with you. So let's go on that mission.